So I'm going to tell you a story. I'm recording this live. What you see in the picture, there's my grandson watching me tell a Beagle Book Club story. And I've enhanced the picture by putting Beagle Book Club characters, reading the book to him and showing him different things. But I'm going to tell you why Beagle Book Club even exists in the first place. It's a very personal story, and it's a very emotional story. Why it exists, Beagle Book Club. It didn't start as a brand. It didn't start as a book. It didn't even start as a plan. It started in the back of an ambulance. There I was, laying flat on my back, covered in wires, nothing on but a sheet. A paramedic leaned over me and said words that don't leave a man once he hears them. You died, and then you came back. I didn't bring you back. I didn't resuscitate you. God brought you back. I looked out the back of the ambulance and I could see what was left of my car. It was absolutely destroyed. I don't think there was any piece of my car that wasn't bent, broken, or crushed. A head-on collision will do that for you. Wasn't my fault. She pointed to a camera. Anything you want to tell your family, you look right there and say it. You're in critical condition. You may die again. This time you may not come back. At that moment, everything got real quiet. Not the kind of quiet you hear in the woods, the kind of quiet that you feel in your soul. My grandson was due in 2 weeks. I had not met him yet. And all I could think of was, what if he never knows me? No stories, no memories, no voice to remember, just maybe a couple of pictures and a name. That camera, that moment, that realization, it planted something in me. When I made it back, I got a second chance, and I knew exactly what I had to do. I went digging through old boxes. I pulled out stories, some I had written as a child, notes, ideas, pieces of something I never finished. And I started recording. Not perfect, not polished, just real stories. I figured out how to make a good podcast. You can make one good podcast after you've made about 1,000 bad ones. I'm working on that 1,000 bad ones, and maybe I'll get a good one. So I started with stories about things that I knew. A famous author once told me, while I was sitting in his house with my daughter, if you're going to write about things that you know. Write about things that are important to you, and the rest will come. That man was Nicholas Sparks. My daughter has a full collection of his autographed books that he gave her, autographed specifically for her. So I took his advice and I started writing stories about hounds, stories about the woods, stories about honor and mistakes and lessons learned the hard way, stories about real life. Because one day a little boy was going to sit down and listen. And that little boy became the first listener of Beagle Book Club. He's my first fan, and I think my only fan. Not an audience, not a follower. He's family. We share a first name, and that's special. And somewhere in those first recordings, between the sound of my voice and the rhythm of those stories, something bigger was born. A world where hounds speak the truth. A place where lessons are passed down by firelight. A legacy built on respect for the land, the dogs, and each other. Beagle Book Club became more than stories. It became a way to make sure that no lesson gets lost, no tradition fades away, and no child grows up without hearing the wisdom we were given. Because somehow stories live on. As long as there's a fire burning somewhere and a hound's voice echoes through the trees, these stories will never die. Beagle Book Club exists because one man, me, was given a second chance to live. And I choose to make sure that this voice is heard and these lessons will outlive me. This is for Alex, Christian, Nicholas, and the yet unnamed grandchild that's on the way. This is for every child who still listens, no matter how old you are. I met some children the other day that were nearly 100. There's honor in the chase. There's respect in the harvest. There's legacy in the land. Christopher Todd Edwards, 2026. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. I have some social media pages, Beagle Book Club being the one that primarily deals with this story. I'm also on YouTube under Tick Bite NC. Now, there's no K in Tick Bite. If you go looking for it, it's TICBITE. There's a bunch of different playlists on Tick Bite. There's some that have to do